On to today's market movers with easy to follow futures and options trades.
Welcome to Market Movers. I'm Jim Urio, and we're days away from a German election that the market seems fairly confident is going to go as planned. We're looking at using Euro currency options 6E as a way of hedging against any surprise. Joining me is Chief Investment Officer at Kingsway Asset Management, Scott Martin. Scott,
hi, Jim.
Okay, the polls seem to think that Merkel's Christian Democratic Party is relatively safe. First of all, do we believe the polls?
Well, we've learned our lesson on believing the polls, I believe, over the course of recent history, just about this time last year, a little bit later. So the reality is this. It's probably a done deal with respect to what we've seen, especially in the underlying currency moves. But hey, we know that there's always a chance of a surprise.
Okay, lately we've been hearing less about problems with immigration in Europe. Is that because that we're seeing, and I can't believe I'm even saying this, an improving economy throughout the EU?
Well, you're right about that. It has seemed like there hasn't been as many issues with respect to the immigration issues. But yes, the economy is getting better. Things are getting on more stable footing. The Brexit fallout, let's say, is meandering away. So yes, things have calmed down a bit economically, or gotten better economically, and therefore other things have calmed down as a result.
And nothing makes people more calm than money in a good economy, right? Now, before we dive into our trade discussions, I'd like to point out that as with all market movers, it's important to view these trades as examples that allow you to see different ways to use futures and options products to either manage risk or create additional trade opportunities, not as recommendation or advice. Prices and movements will vary. Currently, the Euro DEES contract is trading 1.1950. Scott.
So we picked the Euro today, and this is an interesting thing to look at when you look at the Euro currency, I believe. I love looking at the Euro, let's just face it. And the interesting thing about it is not only talking about the German elections, but how about the reaction of the Euro to the Federal Reserve? The FOMC in the U.S. went crazy today with respect to some of the currencies. So looked and punched up a Euro put spread today, actually, looking at the 119.5, 119 even put spread in the 6E. It's going to cost you about 22 ticks or $225. The trade expires September 29th, so you get through the elections, as you mentioned. The underlying, as you mentioned, 119.5. It's going to risk at 275 to make potential 350. Because we got the reaction on the FOMC, I believe we've seen the Euro way too much overcooked as far as this rally from, say, almost par with the dollar to 120. So it seems like there's a reasonable pullback in place, just as things kind of fall out as expected.
I like your trade a lot. Either things go as expected in the election, it could be a buy the rumor, sell the fact thing. We've run the euro into it, like you said, or things don't go as planned, in which case you sell the euro anyway. And so we're talking mostly about the same thing, which is market position. So I'm looking at buying the week 5, the same expiration as yours, 6E, the 119, 118.50 put spread for 16 ticks. Expires September 29th, like I said. It costs $200 to make a potential 425. Now, I'm moving my strikes away because that run-up has been fast and furious from even money to 120. So if we start to break, I think we break hard. Thoughts?
I agree, and you're just going a little bit further out, but the same expression, which I like. And if you just look at that chart, look at that run-up, like you mentioned, from just about par to all the way up to 120, it seems like there's that reasonable retracement down to maybe 116. So if you fill that out anywhere in between here and there, you're going to see those put spreads work out.
Exactly. That's a dramatic move that we've seen in the euro.
For developed market currency, I mean, the Eurozone is the biggest economy in the world, and you're telling me currency is going to move 20% in 6 months?
Exactly. Thank you for joining us on Market Movers. I'm Jim Urio, where we're helping to make you a better trader.